Hello and welcome. I'm Wise Old Tree, and this is a review of Dimension 20, Season 19, Mentopolis. Starting with an overview, Mentopolis is a live play tabletop RPG series produced by Dropout and released in fall of 2023. It's a 6-episode miniseries, with episodes averaging around 2 hours apiece. Brennan Lee Mulligan is once again the game master, and the players for the season are Alex Zongja, Danielle Radford, Mike Trapp, Siobhan Thompson, Freddie Wong, and Hank Green. The setting takes place inside the body of a person, the brain representing the metropolis of Mentopolis, and the city's inhabitants are personified mental and internal concepts. Similar to Inside Out, or for a bit of an older reference, a little bit like Osmosis Jones. This setting combines with a mystery noir style. So we have the hard-boiled detective, who is also Curiosity, and the femme fatale, who is also Impulse. In this season, the citizens of Mentopolis must solve an internal murder as the external body faces an unprecedented crisis. For my overall impressions, this season does not use the D&D rules, but instead a modified version of Kids on Bikes. The system is in the same family as the Kids on Brooms system, which was used in the Misfits and Magic season. I think the system is a nice fit for seasons without a lot of explicit combat, although it does still allow for players to throw hands if they really feel it's needed. If you're not familiar with Kids on Bikes at all, then it's still really easy to understand what is happening, what the stakes are, and how possible success is, and intuit the game mechanics along the way. However, if I had one critique about how the system was handled, I wish they didn't rename all the stats to start with the letter S. It's clever wordplay, but sometimes I get lost in the difference between sneak and snoop or slick and savvy. The setting of having every character be a personified mental concept is interesting. Every character, player and NPC, has a name that's a pun of some kind. This means that in nearly every case, you can kind of guess what a character's deal is and how they're going to act just based on their name. And intersecting these characters with strong identities is sometimes hilarious and sometimes emotionally heartwarming. It also provides a clear indicator of the body that they all inhabit, aka the big guy. The characters with more power or higher standing in the city of Mentopolis are the internal voices and concepts that have more weight and influence over the actions of the big guy. As I said before, all of this is mixed with the noir-style setting, although I do feel that the noir aspect ends up taking a back seat in this season. What starts out as a murder mystery almost plays more like an internal therapy session, where it becomes less about whodunit and more about finding the keys to a healthy mental and emotional state. The noir aspect of the setting opens strongly in the first couple episodes, but by the end of the show it ends up feeling more like a garnish than part of the main course. This season has some great performances all around, and especially by the 3 Dimension 20 newcomers, but I'll highlight Alex Zongja as my standout PC for this season. Alex plays a newspaper boy named Conrad Schintz, or, Conscience. Conrad gets wrapped up in the internal murder mystery by almost becoming one of the victims, and then working with the other players to find out what's going on. Alex plays Conrad as weak and small, an internal conscience that's been pushed aside in the pursuit of other desires, but also one that keeps trying to speak out and find the opportunity to grow within the big guy's internal psyche. For a world where, because of their nature, most characters are pretty static, it's engaging to see how Alex grows and develops the character of Conrad as the story progresses. As for a rating, I'm going to give Season 19 of Dimension 20, Mentopolis, a 4 out of 5. The cast is great, able to hit funny, consistent jokes while also composing a story with a strong emotional core. Now, I've said before that I'm a sucker for murder mysteries, and Mentopolis is a murder mystery, but it didn't resonate quite as strongly as something like Mice and Murder or even Fantasy High. The mystery of the season becomes less about finding and fingering a specific killer, and more about addressing the larger internal crisis happening within the body. Which is a fine story, even if it's not necessarily what I expected, and I'd still recommend it as a fun season to try out. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and see you next time for Season 20, Burrow's End.